Alan Jackson. On behalf of my co-hosts Isaac Simpson and Maria Perry, I'd like to welcome you to this episode of Short on Shorts. Our special guest reviewer this week is Hilary Barraford, a writer, producer, and actor who has appeared on United States of Terra and in John Sayles' 2013 film Go for Sisters. And today we're reviewing Gogurt, directed by Hilary Bell. Make sure to check it out before watching our review. The link is in the description below. Enjoy the movie and our review.
Kevin's pick is Gogurt by Hilary Bell, a teen drama about a girl dealing with the banality of losing her virginity. I won't spoil why the title is the title, you'll just have to watch it.
I chose this movie for two reasons. I chose this movie because I personally have not seen this version of the losing your virginity story. And it seems so simple and obvious, and I can't believe I haven't seen it before. But I appreciated that. I appreciated that that the filmmaker took a pretty standard situation that we've seen a gajillion times and put a twist on it that I hadn't seen, you know? That it's actually boring, that it's not this idealized thing, that it's not this, it's actually the antithesis of a big deal, right? And I also like the fact that the moments with her friends, especially, I mean, I guess the moment with her friend on the roof, but really the moment with all the group of people in the end was so much more intimate than the act. I thought that was an interesting little piece of commentary. And the other thing is that, and I have to admit, I didn't know this when I first picked it. Or at least when I first watched it, I read this afterwards, that the director went to a conservative Christian college, and this was her thesis film, and they would not allow her to screen it.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I chose it. But I also had a lot of issues with it. I mean, I hardly think it's a perfect film.
Yeah.
I really didn't like the fact that the two lead characters are clearly not teenage girls. They both look like they're in their early 20s. That always bugs the crap out of me. You know, I hate the fact that, like, it's little things, and you guys know this about me by now, but it's like that scene where they walk past the mom in the living room and whatever, they have their awkward exchange that is meaningless and whatever, and then the mom looks around, and then she pulls out a cigarette and who the hell sneaks a cigarette indoors, right? Like, that made no sense whatsoever, right? So there were little things like that that drove me crazy, but I do really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
You know,
like, how is that going to work?
I don't know. My friend's mom used to sneak her cigarettes in the car and think she was getting away with it.
Like, I'm in the car with you. Like, I can smell the cigarette.
It's not even that. It's like as soon as you get in the car, because it's all enclosed.
Yeah,
like, this is not hotboxing, Mom. It's a cigarette. Like, calm down.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. You know, I appreciate that she had the bravery to make a film like this in what was probably not the most inviting set of circumstances for her.
No, I liked it. It felt very like the sort of conversations that my friends would have all the time. And I loved that it wasn't like congratulatory. It wasn't like, oh, you skank. It was just, you know, it's normal. It's just life. It was very like, all right, and that happens. Cool. I feel like that about the film, the same way she felt about losing her virginity, was like, all right, and that happened.
Yeah.
Cool. That was it. Gogurt.
Well, I mean, her name's amazing. Let's just start there. Hilary. It's great.
That
It's
is
a
a great
beautiful
name.
name.
And she has one L, like me, which is awesome.
Wow,
as well.
you guys could be.
You're like
We're
besties.
both the anti-Hillary.
I guess so.
Yeah, there you
exactly.
go. Nice.
No, I thought it was cool. I liked it because I mean, as I said earlier, I like those films that have that kind of realistic, kind of unremarkable dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when they take it too far and try to make something out of nothing. So I like those kind of moments where their friend was like, oh, I think your brother's into me, and she was just like, oh, he's a sociopath. It was like a total throwaway, but like.
And that was very realistic.
It's like, I just like those kind of moments, and yeah, I agree on the cigarette thing, but I also kind of dug that was sort of something she did throughout the film, where she kind of hung back with random characters, like the guy with the lawnmower in the yard, which was kind of weird, but it's interesting that the camera was always moving and there wasn't a ton of cutting, and she kind of hung back with characters that weren't part of the central story, and it just kind of created this kind of weird world where you're like, wait, what? Like, what is happening in this world?
Right. That's actually a good point. I didn't think of
Yeah.
that. She
Well, 'cause I
does do
think it
that
was-
consistently.
Yeah.
I think it was true, probably. I mean, I think this is
Right.
clearly derived from real life experience. Maybe not her own, but something. She got this from somewhere. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
think every girl
Yeah,
has had this
has
experience.
had something with it.
And
Exactly.
Every guy has
So-
had this experience. You don't see it from the other. A, you don't see it from the other side all that often, and B, it was consciously trying not to romanticize this moment that we all go through that usually in stories gets romanticized.
It was also unremarkable on both sides. Like it was
Right.
as unremarkable for him as it was for her because he immediately went to get a snack. Like you're
Gogurt.
like his Gogurt, which I hate. I hate Gogurt. I hate the name. It just makes me want to. Oh.
Well, that
but-
was yeah. I guess it hinged on the ridiculousness.
Ridiculous,
of a
but yeah,
Gogurt
but it was-
to begin with, which is a phallic object that
Yes.
emits.
Yes.
Yogurt
But at least it
to
was
begin
even. Like they both seemed
Right.
unfazed and unmoved by what just happened.
It was unremarkable for both of them.
Yeah.
That said, I would like to point out that this is a very, like, you're never not going to know when this film was made because when they pull out the Gogurt finally, it's got Star Wars branding on it. So you know that Gogurt was eaten right when the new Star Wars film came out.